What is going on, Box family? Welcome back to the channel. So we had our earnings. I'm sure you all have looked at it to some degree or other at this point. Didn't go quite as well as we hoped. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only, so let's be entertained. But I thought what we could do is just look over a couple of the points, see kind of what we're seeing in the charts, maybe where it'll go from here. As I mentioned, I really wanted to see us get closer to where those calls are going to start helping affect us. So I'm not big on the options chain right now, but that doesn't mean that I'm not interested in the shares because, the options, until we get closer, you're kind of just throwing money in the wind, in my opinion. So I'm not playing the options chain as far as boxed goes. But I do have my position in the shares, and I'm kind of seeing where this bottom comes in. Just looking over second quarter financial results, it says net revenue was 43.7 million for the second quarter. So we did have a little bit of an increase there, 1.3 million. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's like a 3% increase. So not real impressive, but you know what? They took a very big hit. So I'm really wondering, with a little bit of growth, are we going to see that low that was down there around $1.27, or is it going to hold up somewhere in where we've been bottoming out around $1.60-ish? I'm really keeping an eye on it right now just to see how the overall market responds. I think it could have been way worse. Overall, I don't feel like this was horrible. Retail net revenue was 43.6 million, so they had an increase there of 4.4 million, about 11% previous prior year period. So they got that going. We know that we've been getting the news on their software and services. They're just trying to kind of roll that out and get some partnerships or at least some sort of agreements with other companies to get that going. So I don't think we've seen potential as far as what they're doing with that yet. So possibly that will come into play Q3, Q4, depending on how long it takes to really get implemented and to be able to start pulling in some profits off of there. The retail segment increased by a half a million, so that was pretty decent, 20% or so, and they got the margins improving 7.5%. So I mean, it really could have been a lot worse. Overall, the net loss was 31.8 million for the second quarter compared to net loss of 10.2 million in the prior year period. So what are they doing behind the scenes? What's costing them money to kind of roll out. It takes money to make money, and so sometimes you gotta roll with the punches. Looks like advertising went up a little bit, which, I mean, got to get their name out there and whatever they want to do. Company's total cash balance, marketable securities as of June 30th was 49.6 million, inclusive 2.8 million in restricted cash and 7 million in marketable securities. So total debt principal outstanding was 135.4 million, of which 90.4 million relates to the PIPE convertible notes. So June 30th, the company also had 58.5 million in receivables related to the forward purchase agreements entered into in connection with its business combination. So, I mean, like I said several times, I think it could have been a whole lot worse. I do think overall they're moving in the right direction. I hope. I can't guarantee you that. I don't know exactly, but as far as what we're seeing in the charts, we do have the bottom down here at $1.60, and like I said, we have hit that very low of $1.27. So what I'm watching for is how is it going to respond at $1.60. We know we got some insider buys that are above that. Where were they? Their purple line there, somewhere around $1.87, I think is what they averaged out to. So if they're going to continue to buy, are they going to have some interest now that we're down here below their latest average that we had figured out, or their last purchase? I can't remember. I think this was their average up here at 269 hypothetically, and the last purchase was down here at $1.88 by the insiders. So let's see if they do anything now that we're back below there. Are they going to continue to average down? Do they still have the faith and trust in the company and the process and what they're doing? Let's keep an eye on bounce points. Really, I'm just going to watch between that $1.27 and $1.60. I don't want to throw out too many levels in there because it was kind of it was kind of just sporadic whenever it went there. Hard push down, hard pull up. So nothing that I could give you as far as solid figures go, but those are two levels of importance and interest to me. And like I said, as far as the options chain goes, let it get much closer to where it's actually viable, in my opinion. We got some price cuts down to $2 as far as the analysts go. What do they know? They were just saying $8 to $12 last quarter, and now it's $2 because they missed a little bit as far as earnings went. It's all going to be highly speculative at this point, but hopefully we start to get a little bit of big swings back in here. It'll come to a calm at some point as people either exit or they see this as a buying opportunity and enter back in. So if we do start getting those swings again, like I was saying, I can't tell you what to do, but you could have made quite a bit of money off of boxed in the swings before. So if you start seeing those swings in any kind of particular channel right now, I would just be looking for a bottom and a base and where that's going to happen, and then kind of monitor the situation as far as what our channel is going to be from there, so that you have an idea and you're not just throwing money at the wind. But I think we'll see it sooner than later. It's just needs a day or two to calm down, find its base, and then we'll be back in action. We can see we're getting heavily oversold at this point, and it's right down around support. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a nice support. But I just wanted to check back in with you guys. Hope you all are doing well. Let's see what next week brings. Now, I mean, SPY's kind of pumping. The markets are pumping. There might be a little bit more pump left in it, but overall we are in a bearish market in the grand scheme of things. If you zoom out, you can see that we are still in a bear market. We have not broken out of that yet. So could it just be a fake pump for the meantime? It's going to do that. It's going to have its swings up and down. Can't just go straight down, can't just go straight up. So let's see if the overall markets have an impact on us as well. If they start to come down, say next week, or 2 weeks from now, I think we're getting close to hitting a height as far as what we want to see in the markets, unless it's going to truly break out and just run from here. But a little bit more to the upside, possibly, 425, 430 range on the SPY, and we'll see how it responds there. I think at that point we might get smacked down pretty hard. So let's just look at the SPY while I got it up. So at some point we're going to get rejected out of this upward triangle, ascending triangle that we got going on, and I don't know if it's going to be 422, 425, or I think we got one up there at 420, 430. So somewhere in between, here at 425, could do a bounce to 430, but at that point I think it's going to probably fall out of this ascending triangle and we'll be back in our bear market. I can't guarantee you, but that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm looking for to see if that happens or not. And from there, what kind of impact will that have on boxed as well? So one of those things that you might just want to sit tight and watch. If you don't want to have your money tied up in the markets, you can always be a spectator if you're not jumping in, jumping out type of thing, or have a trading plan at least. Have your stop losses in place. Don't let a trade go too far against you ever. Have that in mind, what you're willing to risk. It's always easier to cut when you're green if you're seeing it come up to it and wait for a new entry point than it is to be down several dollars, 50%, 60, 80%. Then at that point you're just kind of sitting there with your money in the market, and it takes a lot of money to average down at that point, and it's not fun to do that. So have a trading plan. That's if I can't stress anything enough, have a trading plan and use stop losses. Like I say, it's not one and done. There's no harm in seeing it approach your limit and you say, you know what, I'm gonna bail ship and I'm gonna wait till this bases and I'll come back and try again. It doesn't mean that you don't like the stock. It doesn't mean that you're not interested in what's going on. It just means that you're protecting your interest and you're gonna wait and see whenever your entry comes back. So thank you guys so much for coming back, watching another one. I wish earnings would have went better. I was really hoping it was going to run. It looked like it wanted to try to make that push. I was hoping it would get close, but it is what it is. So this is where we are. This is what we're doing, and now we're just kind of spectating to see, is $1.60 going to be a base, or does it want to come lower? And we'll just go from there, guys. So I still have a position here, and I'm watching it closely because right now my stock position's down about 5%, I want to say. So I it hasn't hit my limit yet, but we'll see where it goes from there. Doesn't mean that I'm done with the stock or that I don't like it, but like I said, I will look for that base. I will look for where this is going, and then I will be probably more interested again. So getting close to my limits as far as what I want to see as far as being down in a position, but I think that there could be a bounce here, and that's what I'm holding out for as of right now. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for coming back. I will I guess give us an update where we start to see some sort of new trend or pattern so that we can follow that. But that's all I got for us right now. If you don't mind, you can drop a like, you can subscribe to the channel if you wish, and as always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.